Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to my channel. I'm really excited to be filming my very first YouTube video. Over the last few months, well, maybe more like years, I've gotten more and more into houseplants, and at this point I'm really excited to just show you my collection. I would like to do a full tour of everything. That's probably going to take a couple of videos, so this is going to be part number 1. So today I want to take you through these first 2 shelves here. So I'll just start here up at the top. So here in the back I have an Anthurium Clarinervium that I actually got as a stump, so it didn't have any leaves on it, and it was definitely a rehab plant. It has since put off these 2 leaves, and I don't know if you can see this one, but this was the first leaf, and as you can see, this is not really the shape that you would expect. And I thought maybe it was just this leaf, but then the second leaf actually is even more strange. So I don't know if it's just because it was grown from a stump or was a rehab, but it's definitely a unique plant. So I'm waiting to see for maybe the next leaf if it's going to come out like kind of the normal Clarinervium leaf, or if this is just going to be a really unique plant. Here I have an air plant. I believe this is a yes, this is a Xerographica. So I actually have 2 of these. This one is the larger of the 2, and I actually have found air plants to be some of the most difficult to keep, just because I feel like they need to be watered so often. I pretty much miss them every day or every other day. That's my dog ringing her bell, by the way. Hazel, hey, stop. So yeah, I try to keep it somewhere that I'm going to remember it so that I can mist it, more often. Here I have a Hoya Obovata. So this is definitely getting pretty large, and it's one of my favorites. I really like that this one is pretty splashy. I don't know if it's because I give it quite a bit of light, but yeah, this started out as a very small plant, and as you can see, it now has this kind of longish vine. So I think at some point I'll have to give it something to climb up, but for now, it's just kind of taking up a lot of space here. Here I have a Hoya Retusa. This is another one that, even though it's a pretty small plant, it actually just takes up a lot of, it's very wide, so it has some prime real estate here. It's very interesting, and I'm looking forward to this trailing. I think they look really nice that way. Over here I have another Hoya. As you can see, I'm very much like Hoya. So this is a Hoya Shepherdii. Yeah, Hoya Shepherdii. And this I actually got in a trade, I think, and it was just some unrooted cuttings. So I've since rooted them, and this has really been very slow for me. They rooted just fine, but they have not put out any new growth, and I've definitely had them rooted for a couple of months now. So I don't know if there's something else I should be doing, but that's what it is. Oops, let me go back over to this side. This is a Tradescantia. This is actually a blushing bride, although it has reverted. This is another one I got in a swap as cuttings, and it did have some of the pink on it when I first got it, but I think the stress of being cut kind of made it revert. So I'm hoping that once this is rooted, it will get back to what it's supposed to look like. Back here I have a Scindapsus Treubii dark form. So I do also have the Moonlight, but this one is definitely much darker. This is the newest leaf. I actually imported this plant, and these are some of the older leaves. Actually, I think all of these are old except for this one. This one is new since I've had it. I've heard that they're really slow growers, but this one has actually grown surprisingly fast. I haven't had it for that long. I don't know if maybe they need more light than other Scindapsus, but for now, I mean, it's pretty close to this grow light, but it seems to be doing okay. So I guess I'll just leave it. This here is a tiny Anthurium seedling. So I'll have to put the name on the screen because I don't remember which one this is. But I actually got this as a holiday gift from a local plant group. So that was really, really fun. This is actually a bird's nest Anthurium, which I don't have one of these. So I'm really looking forward to this growing a little bit bigger. Obviously now it's really hard to tell what it is. A lot of very young Anthuriums look very similar. So yeah, eventually this one will look quite different from any of the other Anthuriums I have. So yeah, it's very cute. This is another Anthurium actually, and even though this one is pretty young, you can definitely tell it apart. This is a Vittarifolium. So I actually have a couple of other ones that are very small, which I am rooting, and once they get more rooted, I'll put them in here. This one is starting to put out some new growth right in the middle, but mostly it has been growing roots. So this root is very happy. You can see it's starting to come up out of the pot here, which I guess is a good sign. So hopefully once it feels like it has enough roots, it will push out some more leaves. Back here I have a Dieffenbachia Reflector. So this is actually a plant that I really struggled with. You can see that it does have on this leaf the pattern that you would expect. Some of the other leaves, not so much. I think it was just really stressed out. I don't know, for whatever reason, I have had a hard time with this. As you can see, some of the lower leaves have gone bare. But yeah, I'm hopeful. It looks like this new leaf at least is going to have the like typical pattern. I don't know about this one, but we'll see. This one is a rickrack cactus, or I think it's also called a zigzag cactus. I am not sure what kind of plant this is actually, like scientifically. I don't think it's actually a cactus, maybe like considered a jungle cactus or something, but yeah, I actually had a problem with this one. Sorry, my finger keeps going in the shot. It was actually a little bit larger, but it actually got rotted at the base. So I guess I must have overwatered it. So now I have it in a really chunky mix. This is kind of a lot of cocoa husk. So this is also in a pot that has slits on the sides. I think it would be more like an orchid pot. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't overwater it again. Back here, I have an Amydrium Silver. So this is kind of a strange plant. I've actually had this for a while, and it came with these two leaves, and you can see that they have, I don't know if you can see that, but they have some spots on them, which I was a little bit nervous about, but it hasn't really spread. And like I said, that was there when I got them. It did actually put off a runner, but it did not ever put out any leaves. It was like, I don't know, 5 nodes or something. So I ended up chopping that, and I'm propagating those. It is now putting out a new tiny growth point. Oops, you can't see that right there. So I'm hoping that that will actually have some leaves. I don't know if maybe I need to put this on a moss pole. It's honestly kind of an awkward shape. It's like very wide, I guess. So I don't really know where I'm going to put it if I have to put it on a moss pole, because this is kind of a short area where it's at right now. The last plant, if I can see it behind some other plants that are hanging, this is my Hoya Lacunosa. I love this plant. It has grown so fast, and I would say this is one of my favorite, like more common Hoya in terms of just its appearance, and also it just has grown really well for me. You can also see that these newer leaves do have some kind of, I don't know if you can see that, some kind of sun stressing. They're a little bit red. I guess these lights are enough to make it happy. So yeah, I've actually cut this one back. I'm propagating some sections for my mom. But yeah, it's still like very full and nice, and it just is such a good grower. So yeah, I would highly recommend this one. Especially if you're relatively new, I guess, to Hoya, or really, I would recommend this to anyone. I just really like it. Now down to the second shelf here. Start on this side. So this is my Syngonium Albo. I have really struggled with this plant. I've had it for a long time, and it'll put out new leaves, but they die back. And even though the variegation is really, really beautiful, I would love for this to be a larger plant. I know some people have gotten like, huge bushy ones that grow really fast. I don't know how they do that, because mine is obviously not like that. I kind of have thought about putting it on a pole, but at this point it's just so small, it seems like it would be kind of silly. But either way, it's really beautiful. Has very, very nice variegation. I've also heard of some people having issues with this reverting. I obviously have not had that issue. Every leaf I've gotten, including the ones that have died, all had some nice green and white on them. This one back here, sorry, I hope these lights are not, it's kind of coming off weird on my phone, but maybe if I back up a little bit, maybe that's better. Ooh, I don't know, we'll try that. But if I turn the lights off, it's pretty dark, so I guess this is just how it's going to be. So sorry if that's bothering you. So back here we have a Hoya carnosa. This is very common. Probably if you see a Hoya, it will be this one, like in a nursery or even like a big box store. Yeah, don't have much to say about it. It's, solid Hoya. Definitely easy to grow. Here I have a Florida Ghost. So this is the newest leaf, and you can see that it's definitely lighter than the other ones. I have not gotten like anything close to white. I don't know if that's just because it's so young or because it's under grow lights, but either way, the new leaves come out kind of like this color, and then they eventually fade to this kind of darker green. Also the petioles are red. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, they're even almost a little bit fuzzy, which is something that I didn't know before I got this plant. This is my variegated string of pearls, another plant I have really struggled with. This is actually my second one. I have such a hard time with string of pearls. I don't know why. I'm fine with string of hearts. I am also fine with string of tears, which you would think would be very similar, but for whatever reason, I just have a really hard time with this one. So, yeah, this one, a lot of them are just really squishy, and they're more like wrinkled. They're not rotted squishy, which I have had happen before, but they're just kind of wrinkled, and I've asked around to see what I can do to fix that, and some people said water it more, but the thing is, when I water it, it doesn't change at all. So I don't want to overwater it, because that's also something that can happen with these. So it doesn't really seem to be deteriorating, and as you can see, it is putting off some little tiny growth. So I don't know what the future holds for this plant, but either way, it's here, and just, struggling a little bit with this one. Back here I have a Monstera Peru. So you can see the nice leaf texture, I guess. It's definitely unique. I actually wasn't so into this plant before I got it, but now that I have it, it's actually really growing on me. So yeah, I would recommend this one as well. It has put off this runner, which I now actually today just stuck on this pole to try to give it a little bit of support, so maybe it'll put some leaves out, because so far it has not given me any new leaves. So yeah, I might need to put this on a real moss pole, but for now I just wanted to try that. This one right here is a Peperomia. I'll have to put the name on the screen. This actually does not look like what it is supposed to look like. This one a little bit does, but you can't really see it. So it actually has light pink around the edges, or it is supposed to. And it did originally, but this was really super overwatered at the nursery that I got it from. So all of the larger leaves died, and this was basically the new tiny growth from the center that was coming up. So I'm hoping that when the leaves actually become large enough, they'll get that variegation again, because I just think it's so beautiful. I mean, right now it's fine too. It just looks like a very dark, kind of almost black Peperomia, which is fine. But yeah, that the way that the leaves looked when I first got it was really pretty stunning. All right, so I'll move over here. This is a Hoya Pubicalyx. This is definitely a splashy version. I don't know what this would technically be called, but yeah, I don't know if you can see this leaf, but it's pretty much 100% splash. It's very silver. So yeah, I saw this at a nursery, and I just was so in love with it. I thought the splashing and the variegation was really fabulous. And actually, it hasn't really given me any new leaves, but it's given me these long vines, which actually go up here. That's back here. Those are the vines from this. So I can see that they're starting to develop some tiny leaves as they're, I guess, climbing up themselves and the shelf. So I'm sure this would be happier if I gave it a trellis or something, but you know, as you can see, I really have to pack these in tightly, so I don't have a lot of space for that. So hopefully it will be okay with the wall and will actually give me some new leaves. Back here is a Peperomia Frost. Yeah, this is also, I've seen this around. Sometimes I actually got this in a trade locally as well. Honestly, I mostly don't buy my plants from nurseries. Locally, I mostly get them from trades, just because the nurseries a lot of times don't have what I'm looking for. So yeah, this one I really love. The only thing about it is that as the leaves get larger, they sometimes get a little bit yellow. Like you can see, maybe this one is a good example. So they get kind of yellow, and I don't know why, if that's what they're supposed to do, but usually when they get too yellow, I trim them off, just because I don't really like the way they look. And I'm trying to encourage the more silver growth, which is what this plant is known for. So yeah, another nice little Peperomia. Here is another Hoya Obovata, actually. Here, I'll take it up here so you can look at it next to this one. So this one is supposed to be a splash. I would say it is actually less splashy than my regular, quote-unquote, Hoya Obovata. One thing I have noticed, though, is that the leaves are huge. They're so much bigger. So that's the reason I haven't combined them. Usually if I have two of the same exact plant, I will put them together just because I don't really have room. And I would like to consolidate pots if I can. But I'm not totally convinced if this is a different variety, or if it's just abnormally large. So I'm still waiting for this to put out a new leaf. I actually got this as an unrooted cutting. So it has since rooted. It's here in this terracotta pot. But yeah, I'm waiting for it to put out maybe one or two new leaves so I can see if they look similar or different from my other Hoya Obovata. This here is my string of hearts, which I actually just restarted. So you can see this is in moss. There's actually soil underneath this, but I have found that if you use the butterfly method, where you just have one node with some leaves, moss works really well. And then you can just basically set it on top of soil when you're ready to plant it. And I just recently, actually today, did this because it has started putting off new growth. So I feel pretty confident that it's actually rooted in here. So yeah, that's my string of hearts. This was originally really long. It was probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet long, but I definitely forgot to water it a few times, which I know is actually kind of hard with these. They can go a long time without water, but I really pushed it, and so they started to get a little bit bare and crispy. So I just decided that I would rather start with the best of the bunch and make myself a new plant. So that is my regular string of hearts. This is a Begonia. I don't remember the name, so I will have to put that on the screen as well. But this is not the like large spotted one. As you can see, these spots are very small, which I actually prefer this one. I don't know. I think it blends in better with my collection. I really like the other one when it comes to like pictures and stuff like that, but yeah, I had one leaf of that, which did not do well, so I just decided I'm just gonna be happy with this one that I have. So this is actually a new leaf in the middle. For a long time it just had 2 leaves, but yeah, I think this one's gonna get a little bit bigger. But yeah. And last but not least, there is this Hoya Crimson Queen. Let's see, I'll move this a little bit. So yeah, this one is definitely such an easy, I would say pretty fast growing Hoya. It's put out a lot of new growth. I mean, for the most part, when I got this, like pretty much on this, it was really just in the pot, and everything that's kind of hanging out here is new since I've had it, including these pink leaves. I don't know, I would cut this off, but this one has like the smallest amount of green on it, so maybe it will actually survive. I'm not sure. But this vine does have, it's not all pink, so I don't know. There are some pink leaves, but there's also some green leaves. So I'm hoping that this one, I don't know, that one might not survive, but maybe that one will. So yeah, that's my Crimson Queen. I did have a Princess, which is the one with the variegation on the inside, but I found that the variegation was always yellow for me. I don't know if it's because I have them under grow lights or what, but I just really wanted them to actually be pink and white. So yeah, that's why I chose the Crimson Queen. So yeah, this again is a little overview of these 2 shelves. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll definitely be doing more because this is just 2 shelves out of my whole kind of setup. If I zoom out a little bit, you can see I actually have 2 cabinets and some other stuff, but that will be for a later date. So thank you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.